I have a friend. He and I spend a lot of time together in the summer. We love to talk for hours. He lives with his two adopted sisters and gets along pretty well. He's also very shy. If we were to see a big group of people like this, he would hide away or act like he's asleep. He has a hard time making friends, unless they're wearing a green or orange shirt. Oh, and I forgot to mention, his name is Bozo, and he's a 52-year-old spider monkey. Hi, my name is Rowen, and I have volunteered at a zoo for 2 years now. I work in the zoo's education department, which means I work with both people and animals. This combination has led me to many hilarious and equally upsetting stories, but most of all, it has led me to a contradiction. I enjoy working at a zoo, yet I regret the necessity of having animals in captivity. It is obvious that captivity has negative effects on some of the animals. For example, chimpanzees, where 81% eat feces and 58% pluck their own hair. On average, each captive chimp has 4 to 5 abnormal behaviors, a few of which can be considered self-harm. As Nick Carter of the Humane Society Institution for Research has stated, there is no longer any question that the psychophysiological effects have been and continue to be prime causes for the suffering and the consequent high mortality rate among captive dolphins. And these negative effects, like abnormal behaviors, insufficient fear of humans, and exposure to novel diseases, often limit the success of reintroduction attempts. As I've stated before, I work in education. My job is to teach the public using animals and biofacts, which are remnants of animals, like teeth and hair. Sometimes, to show the herbivorous diet of elephants, we use a piece of elephant poop. Of course, it's covered in plastic, but we don't always let the kids know that. So one time I was working in the summer, and this kid comes up to me, seemingly interested in what I was holding. And without missing a beat, he grabs the poop out of my hand and licks it, while always maintaining eye contact. Besides the wacky kids, we help teach the message of conservation to adults. Where else will an average go? Come face to face with a bald eagle or a lion and actually leave the experience caring. Please try to get someone to remember the word ovoviviparous without holding a lizard. Zoos are also a place for research and rehabilitation. A lot of information can be gathered while studying captive populations, which in turn help with conservation efforts. At the zoo I work at, we have a raptor rehabilitation program, which focuses on healing native species. If an individual is determined unfit for the wild after completing our program, they're offered a home at our zoo or another location within the association, such as the story of my friend Zeus. Over 214 zoos are part of the AZA, or Association of Zoos and Aquariums. This is a prestigious organization that demands a high level of animal welfare and expects conservation and education efforts from each of their zoos. Within the association, there is a program that effectively governs SSPs, or species survival plans. SSPs are breeding programs that practice safe husbandry with animals within the association. They match mates on a list of characteristics, like the behaviors of the species, the needs for the environment they live in, basic veterinary needs, basic care needs, or to oversimplify, they play genetic matchmaker. The goal is to maintain populations within the association's collections and to not take any animals from the wild. All of these positive efforts are put under the umbrella of wildlife conservation. Wildlife conservation is defined as protecting animal species and their habitat. Zoos have changed from a source of entertainment to a force on the front lines of wildlife conservation awareness. Everything a well-run and association-approved zoo does can be boiled down to wildlife conservation. 1% of every ticket and every purchase goes straight to organizations such as Association of Protecting the Environment, or APE, and World Wildlife Fund. So why do we do this? Why do we pour millions of dollars into wildlife conservation? Well, I'm sure you see the commercials and read the ads packed in the magazines when waiting for the doctor, even though your appointment was supposed to start 30 minutes ago. They'll say things like, your donation will make a difference, or to adopt an animal. And that's great, because it provides funding for amazing projects, but it doesn't give you the numbers. Did you know that in 2000, 48.5% of the tropical dry broadleaf rainforests have been converted for human use? Or that in 2031, 50% of the lion population will be gone? These numbers are scary, and not alone, but it's not helpless. Everyone knows the most important line in real estate: location, location, location. Zoos are accessible. Nowhere else can people come face to face with amazing creatures from around the world. And that connection, that relationship gets things done. But again, that white noise is playing in the background. Zoos help us appreciate the world, but to do so, we alter the purpose of the animal from a wild, instinctual creature to an ambassador of their own species. I'm not here to advocate for zoos. I'm here to justify them. When me and my fellow volunteers get accused of hurting the animals, and visitors going on and on about what they see, most of the time what they're describing is the natural behaviors of the animals themselves. For example, wolves. Wolves are an intelligent creature that walks their territory every morning. So when you see a canine species pacing, most of the time what they're doing is acting like their normal selves, not like our cute pets we cuddle with at home. We volunteers can immediately defend having animals in captivity because we know that these animals will make a difference in the public eye in the future of their own species. No matter how hard zoo employees and volunteers try, zoos will be imperfect, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't support them. Zoos are the necessary compromise that will move us from the dire straits of today to the maintainable tomorrow. So please, go visit your local zoo, because only then, only when people know and care, will we change the environment of our world. Thank you.